Formula Drift Irwindale. More so, Irwindale Speedway, the house of drift. Drifting was born in the United States on this track back in 2003. And in 2003, NSYNC was still a thing. People used to go outside, and we weren't as lonely. It's 2024 now, and while we're not at Formula Drift Irwindale quite yet, we do have it virtually, and a very nice version of it, thanks to the wonderful people at VDC. So instead of going outside and hanging out with people and interacting with people, let's stay inside and, I guess, learn how to drift at the Irwindale. Anyway, that's depressing. Okay, let's get into it. So today, I want to take a step back and really look at the solo and the tandem runs, kind of like the stir-up video, and I'll leave it right here. Now, we're going to start with solo, and I am in Zach O'Sullivan's S14, his VDC car, the one he won his championship in. For some reason, this car is possibly the easiest car I've ever driven. I don't understand it. Zach, you're a wizard. Cheating. That's all I gotta say. Just kidding. You didn't cheat. Anyway, let's get right into it. So I'm going to use the slow button a lot, just so I can really break it down when it comes to a good solo run. But first, let's just watch a good old solo run. No yapping, just a solo run. Alright, so let's break this John down. So, first things first, I want to talk about coming through the cones. As you can see, I'm not full throttle through the cones. A lot of people ask, how do I get rid of wheel speed coming out of a start gate? Well, simply put it, you don't floor it. A lot of people like to floor it. What that does, it just brings on all the power, lights the tires off. You don't want to do it. You want to have nice throttle input in order to maximize your speed through the start gate. So just want to bring that up. That was terrible. Just want to bring that up. A lot of people ask. So coming into this first corner, let's rewind a little bit. I like to flick right at the end of the straight, if you will. So as you can see, the cinder block breaks off. I get, about 6-7 feet off of it, start to flick, and then I'm the other direction by this white line here. Now, I have no e-brake pull here. I have a little bit of left foot brake just to get myself settled. Now, a lot of people make the mistake on this course. Two mistakes they make. One, their wheel speed is too low, so they can't easily get onto this bank without being all twitchy. And two, like myself right here, you chuck too much angle into this big bank. Now, when you chuck way too much angle into the bank, what happens is, well, simply put it, you can't carry that much angle. Only because as the bank keeps going, it increases in steepness, right? And so once you get to the middle of the bank, you're needing more power all of a sudden, and you're already full throttle. So to say the least, you're not going to have a good time, right? So here, you're going to see I have a couple little corrections right here. Boo. It should be nice and smooth. And the reason being, I carried too much angle. So, as you can see here, coming through, a little bit of left foot brake again. Now, coming off the bank, I like to stay not like the FD 2023 line where they're practically using this other banked wall as a clipping point. I like to stay outside, right? More like a midline, mid to outside, right? Using a bit of throttle manipulation, as you can see there. We'll go back a little bit. I'm not full throttle here. I'm feathering it, as you can hear, wop, 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 right? And then I transition. Again, still track right more than track left. Tons of angle into this clip. Now, as you can see already, I am a little too inside here, right? But in my opinion, I'd rather be a little too inside than way too, way too outside. Like off the clip, I'd rather be right there. So, again, transition track left. Now, watch this transition, and we'll go back and see it. This is why this car is so easy. Okay, so let's slow this down a little bit. Transition, track left. I pour on a lot of angle, push in the clutch, and just have a nice clutch kick, a little bit of left foot brake. Now, as I get through the wall, as you can see, I'm coming off of it a little bit. Ideally, you want to be riding the wall throughout the entire corner, but this corner is really difficult because it feels like you have to pull, I guess, too much outside. Like towards the end of it, you feel like you're just getting too far outside. So most of everyone, pretty much everyone, they leave this corner a little soon. So as you can see, I'm still a foot off the wall. Boom me, not great. And then I get closer towards the end because naturally as a corner goes around, that's what you do. So as you can see, pull off the wall a little bit. Everyone needs to do this because if you don't do this, you're not going to make this next clip, or you're going to have a lot of angle into the next clip, and then you got to pull it all out, which looks like poopy. So as I said before, pull some of your line out, pull off of the wall towards the end of it. So again, off the wall, get on it, boom. Now this next bit, pretty straightforward. You want to have consistent angle, and you want to drive to and through these next clips, right? Inside clip, this last outside zone, a lot of people like to fulfill it like a normal outside zone, and you're driving, to it and through it. For me, I more like to drive through it. Treat this last clip more as a touch and go rather than an actual clip, because if you treat it like an actual clip, well, you're going to have too much angle, people are going to hit you, and you're going to get pissed off. Let's see it one more time. Boom shakalaka. Brilliant. So with that said, that was the solo runs. Now, we're going to take a look at some tandem runs, because that's what drifting is all about, the tandems. Alrighty, first things first, we got to talk about lead runs, because lead runs, again, are just qualifying runs, but with someone behind you. So the pressure of that someone behind you might cause you to mess up, and you frankly do not want to do that. So right here we have Anton, XE Live Fast, chasing me in his Corvette. Now he's been hitting me all day. I feel the pressure of him because he keeps slamming into me, and that does not feel good. So again, let's use the slow-mo cam just to really understand what's going on here. First things first, as you can see here, little to no wheel spin. Why? Because I'm not full throttle. You're welcome, everyone. So, coming into the first corner, I need to use as much momentum as possible. So again, I'm hitting the left foot brake. Now here, I wasn't on the wall in the beginning, which is a big boo-boo. I increased my wheel speed later on and made everything a lot easier. So I had a wheel speed problem. There, honestly, it could go either way. I was online, he was a little offline, he hits me. Whatever, not a big deal. So we transition here. And again, I want to be full throttle here. Kind of check a little too much angle. As you can see, I hit the lock stops, come around, and transition. I am having a bad time. Hopefully I don't hit the wall. And spoiler alert, I don't. I am about 6 inches off the wall, get to it towards the end. Do have to lift off a little bit. A little sketchy all around, but a pretty solid lead from myself. And then here to top it all off, I get sandwiched into the wall. So let's not spend too much time on the lead run, because again, the lead run is just a qualifying run or a solo run with someone behind you. Now, of course, last and finally, we must talk about the chase run. So let's just watch this chase run and then we'll further analyze it. So let's take a look at this chase run. Honestly, not the best lead to chase, but it was still a pretty solid chase run. In the lead is JSI Jordy, aka Jordy Lopez. So first things first, I want to point this out. I don't know if I'm crazy or not. Why did he hit the brakes after he left? Just curious, So coming into the first corner, I like to give a little bit of space and then push right onto the door, right? Being door to door really close, yes, it could be very rewarding, but 9 times out of 10, when you're chasing on this track, A lot of people either chuck too much angle or are very hesitant initiating because it is a very daunting corner. So with that being said, I like to be, as you can see here, we'll go ahead and watch this back. I'm about a car behind Jordy before I'm really on his door. Now, throughout the banking, right, let's look at my throttle real quick. To get onto his door, I'm not on full throttle. And the reason you can sucker up onto someone is because you aren't using all your wheel speed at once. You're using less of it or more of it than less of it. If you have all the wheel speed, if you have all, just to be very transparent, my wheel speed here is 138 miles per hour in the sim. If I'm using all 138 miles per hour, I'm probably just going to spin the tires. I'm going to look really smooth, but I'm not going to be able to surge onto the door like I just did. Being able to be, in that 90 to 115 mile per hour range allows me to use the car's grip to get onto the door. Now, I get a little close, a little hesitant, have a little checkup a couple seconds ago, then transitioning. Now here, I like to be as risky as possible. Honestly, here, I think I could have been a little closer. He did give me, I did give him a little too much space. As you can see here, I'm about a car. I could be a bit closer, but honestly, that amount of space is good here just because this inside clip and the switchback is so short. If you didn't notice, you're going around a left-handed corner 90% of the time at this course. It's kind of crazy. It's one of the only banked courses that FD goes to where it's the same direction, right, for a long period of time. It's like 95% of the course or something is a left-handed corner. So as you can see here, he's about a foot off, which, if anything, allows me to get to the door and have a better line than him, which is a win-win in everyone's book. So as you can see, I'm about half a car back, and then I get real close to him after I realize what he's done, about halfway through the zone. Get on him, and again, not full throttle, barely any time, feathering, using the brake, using the throttle, just dancing on the pedals, if you will. And now I'm able to finish out the course really strong, right on his door, not giving him any room, just right there. Here, I did pucker up a little bit. I thought I was going in the wall, but he was a little shallow, so I guess thank you, Jordy, for being shallow and not driving the course correctly there. Anyway, but I was able to have a pretty solid run. So a big takeaway when it comes to tandeming at this course, don't be full throttle all the time when it comes to being in the chase, quite frankly, because you need to be able to use your wheel speed to your advantage, not all of it at once. It's only really 2 corners and 2 inside clips, 3 outside zones. It's super fun, super great. I hope to see everyone driving it. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe and click the first link down below if you want to download this track, the VDC Irwindale Speedway, made by the wonderful people over at VDC. If you like what I do and you want to support the channel, go over to balanceracing.com, pick up a shirt, or even get a simulator if you're about that. Or check out our Patreon, where you could drive cars just like this for only $7. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope to see you guys out in Irwindale. With that, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Also subscribe to Boundless Racing. We're putting out videos twice a week there.